So I covered this in the past, but I feel like I need to explain it again. Celebrity clones or time travelers is neither. In the reading of Genesis 6, the Nephilims were on the earth in those days and also after that, meaning after the flood. This is when the sons of Yah came unto the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. The same were the mighty men. They were of the old, the men of renown. Renown is the well-known, a famous person. Another word would be celebrity. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Another name of the Canaanite god is El, as in electricity. What is lightning? Lightning is a giant spark of electricity in the atmosphere between the clouds, the air, or the ground. Read what it says on the Hollywood and television. And television means to tell the vision. There's a reason they call them channels and programs. So now to these so-called time travelers. These are not time travelers. These are what we know as the men of renown. I'm going to show you that this is not new. This technology has been around for a long time. Nice eye of Ra. And this technology goes back all the way to Grand Tutorial. What it is that they dumb us down to this knowledge. And then they reintroduce it to us later on like it's new. Like the scripture says, nothing new under the sun. This is not by coincidence. Even with the new Jamie Foxx, you can see that the face shape is different and he's a lot lighter. And before going into the hospital, he had a tattoo on the back of his head. And when he reemerged from the hospital, it was missing. And the image of this guy right here is not Mike Tyson. This is a guy who got arrested for prying on women. Notice the birthmark on his face? The same pattern that Mike Tyson happens to have on his face. But again, that's not Mike Tyson. It's a Mike Tyson lookalike. They're among us. How about Beyonce? As you can clearly see, she is not the same vessel. Because while we are vessels with a spirit inside. That's why the scripture tells you to test the spirit. This guy on YouTube, he goes by Understanding Conspiracy. And he has many videos on how the Nephilims look like clowns. They are known to be very pale, red hair, and red lips. Like Lucille Ball. And I, for one, used to love that show. And I didn't know that Lucy was a short version of the word Lucifer. And her last name happens to be what? Ball. Lucille Ball. And you notice her red hair, red lips, pale skin. Just like Ariel, the little mermaid, who also had red hair and pale skin. Ariel means an altar covered with blood. And you know that she was a Nephilim, right? A marine spirit. And this is from the Kabbalah chart, Shriners. Lucille Ball. This is what they call gene editing. This is what they're introducing to the world now, gene editing. Or splicing, but this is not new. How you could grow a baby in an artificial womb. Again, this is not new. I'm going to show you. And I want you to know that these babies do not pass through the living waters. So there's no way that they'll be going home. This is making babies through science, creating through science, not the way that Yah made us to do it. For we were made to create like the Father is a creator. Are you guys familiar with the World Fair? So during the World Fair, they had these incubator babies. So like I said, this technology is not new. So these babies were taken into the Americas and Canada, better known as the orphan trains because they were scattered all through the Americas and Canada. And all these babies were European. The only ones that were growing were European babies. If you're interested in this subject, on other two pages that cover this, you can find them on YouTube. One goes by Conscious X777 and his wife Divine Shide. They expose who these characters are, the multiple characters they play. Again, these are just vessels with a spirit inside them. They can either make them female or male. That's why they call themselves them, they. These are your so-called time travelers. Your men and women of renown. And this new sim character has the same defect on the same left eye that left eye had. And also Britney Spears, I forgot to put her here because she's Marilyn Monroe. Or was Marilyn Monroe. Angels are depicted with wings, but they're purely spiritual beings. They do not have a physical body. They can take on the appearance of a man to better communicate with humans. And this is from the Vatican. You see the skin suit? And you should know by now that the Vatican is a synagogue of Satan.
And of course, in the Tartarian studies, we see that there's evidence of a worldwide mud flood. In our study of the true history of our Earth, the incubator babies is what really got me. A gut punch like no gut punch I had ever experienced before. Of course, from the incubator babies, we lead into the concept of orphan trains. We look at how all of a sudden, in the 1800s, coming into the 1900s, our world was overrun with children. Children who had no parents. Children who were allegedly orphaned. So where did these orphans come from? Is it possible that there was a mud flood that took out Tartaria? And then just like in the Apocryphon of John, one of the missing books of the Bible, again, Apocryphon means secret teaching or secret message. Is it possible then at the start of Gog and Magog, the controllers, Luciferians, were granted access to the DNA of the dead bodies from Tartaria, where they were then able to start to manipulate our DNA and grow our ancestors on this timeline in incubators? Is it possible that this is where all these orphans came from? Now, I have no way of proving this is true or not, but once you see the reality of the situation with all these children, you can't deny that something doesn't add up. Now, of course, again, everyone will play it off. Well, maybe there wasn't as many orphanages as we think there was, but that is simply not true, because when we look at the Newsies strike of 1899, that then rolled into the child or children's strike of 1899, the New York City itself was shut down because the laborers, the children, refused to work. Now, if you look at mainstream media articles or mainstream media references to the Newsies strike or the children's strike of 1899, they will tell you that a lot of these children were children of immigrants, and that after school, they would go and sell newspapers to try to raise money for their family. But if you actually go through the archives, they mention nothing about these children having parents. In fact, in all the archived articles, archived references of this particular strike, it labels the children as orphans and street kids. It talks about how most of these children were able to hawk newspapers in the freezing New York winters without so much as a jacket.
Hard. So now let's switch this. Let's talk about this evil, nasty dirtbag. Let's talk about this character because I don't like this character. I don't understand what people see in this character. I don't understand the hype about this character. And my reason for not liking this character is because this character has mocked every single one of you. This character has mocked everybody.
Yes, I am Bill Hicks. I'm Bill Hicks, your host. We'll be right back.
You ever dress up like anything silly, Alex Jones?
I mean, Bill Hicks, right?
Exactly. No, actually, well, I was Bill Hicks before. Then I staged my death, and then it became Alex Jones in 1993. It's actually true. No, it's true. I am really Bill Hicks. I'll be at a restaurant, and they come over and they say, hey, Bill, hey, Bill, hey, Bill. And I turn around, and they go, oh, I know it's you.
Talk to the listeners. I am not Bill Hicks. I've never been Bill Hicks. He knows the secret.
He has mocked everybody. And to want to vouch for this character or whatever, you have to be not in your right mind because he has laughed in people's face. He has a sinister thing about him. He make everything look crazy. He's the staple Matrix totem or face of anything deep for some reason. If anybody hear you say anything deep, they'll be like, oh, you Alex Jones, and that's insane to me. But you can't blame bots for the programming that they got because they're just a part of the system.